I know it's a bit confusing, isn't it? Hat, sunglasses, raincoat. Yeah, it's typical British weather really, isn't it? So we say goodbye to Lechlade. It was very nice. Went to the Christmas shop, picked up a couple of things for Christmas. Because we parked on farmland, we were woken rudely this morning. Well, not so rudely, but knock on the door. £5 please. Yeah, of course, then you read the forums, it says, yeah, they're not signposted. So if you come and stay at Lechlade on the South Bank, be prepared to pay a fiver. There's a few of us like that, but apparently it doesn't come every day. Anyway, there's not a huge amount to see. I will try and get some video of going through St John's Lock perhaps, where there's a statue of old Father Thames. We'll have a look at him. But right now, it's blowing a gale. The boat is wanting to go sideways, so we're doing a bit of a sailing as well as motoring. So yeah, let's get to St John's, our first lock of quite a few, as we now head downstream on the Thames. You know that, shame it's not smelly vision, you know that smell when you go past a farm, particularly perhaps a cattle farm, a dairy. You know that smell? Yeah. I guess it's the country. Is it healthy? I don't know. But anyway, it's the countryside. And just to prove it, here are some cows. So here we are at St John's Lock, and it just happened to be lunchtime, so the lock keeper wasn't on duty, which meant that Mandy and I had to operate the lock ourselves. Having said that, it was Mandy that did most of the operating, but it's a fairly straightforward process, of which we'll have a little look at that now. And that just confirms you cannot moor over here overnight. Here we are in the lock, Mandy doing a sterling job of winding the paddles. So as you'll see, they're like a old ship's wheel, with the red symbols on the end of the poles showing the lock or the gates, or the paddles are open. Not the gates themselves, obviously the gates are the big swinging things. No, but the paddles are open at the bottom of the lock gates. And white means they're closed. Some examples of one of the old lock cottages. And just opposite the house, they had a little garden with a mini lock cottage. So you can see that's Mandy opening the gates. Not too difficult, they're nicely well balanced. And here you can see is the statue of old Father Thames, who marks the start of the section after Lechlade, and obviously is the first lock that you come to on your way heading east. This is just speeded up through the lock. So well done to Mandy and our volunteer for getting us through St John's Lock, and we continue downstream. St John's Priory is what the lock is named after. Some nice walks around here which we find, a few little pubs. There's a nice little atmosphere in Lechlade. There you go, that's St John's Lock. Next! And just about 15 minutes later we get to the second lock. Again it's saying self-service because it was still lunchtime and the lockkeeper was at lunch. But quite a nice pretty little lock this, with a few moorings alongside a new boathouse. So rain jacket off, although the clouds are coming over again. Sunglasses still on, but probably don't need to be on. We are now just outside of Kelmscott, and this pretty much is all you see from Buscott Lock. It's pretty much just countryside. So between Buscott Lock and here it mostly looks like this. Or it mostly looks like this. So not even many pretty views to look at, apart from this one.
Hey! Actually, I'll get you everywhere.
Yeah, but it's true. So we've got to slow down here because we are at a boat club. but we're doing nice. We're doing about 7 k's. The engine is just ticking over. Well, it's not ticking over. The engine is just nicely in cruise mode. We're downstream. Bit of wind behind us. 7 k's. That's not bad. A little bit faster than what we would do on a canal. Anyway, let's throttle back a bit because we don't want to upset the neighbours. Because it does say dead slow. And from Lechlade Lock, this is the first bridge we've come to. Obviously, it's just a walkable bridge, not. So there aren't many motor passing points between Lechlade. In fact, there are none between Lechlade and Kelmscott. Anyway, we're going to moor up just around the corner here. And I was hoping we might just see over there, yes we can, just a little bit of the village. So we're going to go and meet Gavin. Gavin is the properties manager at Kelmscott Manor, and as mentioned before, it's famous for William Morris. And if you're not sure who William Morris is, I will put a link to Kelmscott Manor and a link to the history of William Morris, who basically is a very famous designer of the 17th century. Mandy?
Possibly.
Gavin may correct me. Anyway, let's go and see. Oh, the other thing to note upon this part of the river actually is the number of sentry boxes or pillboxes or machine gun points built in the 3940 when the threat of invasion was, and they still survive to this day. Clearly with no men in them, but and most of them say keep out. I'll see if I can get a chance to have a look at one.
And one of the other things that the Thames is famous for is people walking the entire length. And just to our left is actually the Thames path, which can be followed on many maps on the route all the way to Southend.
Okay. There you go. So the guys would have been in there, the machine guns, waiting for the Germans. Luckily, they never came. Slightly more hidden. Some more of World War II defences. No battle scars. Oh, someone's had a beer. Couple of beers. Couple of poo bags, but it's a bit dark. But, by candlelight, I presume you would have shot. Didn't get to see any action. So as you walk up from the towpath or the footpath from the Redcott Bridge, or just 4 miles away, here's some of the old outside barns which have been converted, and the house is behind there. So we go through this gate. See, Kelmscott Manor, only open between April and October. Wednesday, Saturdays, Thursday aren't booking, but they're going to be moving up. I think they're open. No, they're obviously open today as well, so that needs updating. Let's go and meet Gavin, who'll tell us more about Kelmscott Manor. So here we are at Kelmscott Manor. We've just had a little private tour around with my friend Gavin, who we're just going to meet, who's going to tell us a little bit about Kelmscott Manor, the man who was inspired here, who took this as his sort of second home from London, right here by the Thames, William Morris. So Gavin, thank you so much for the tour. Tell us a little bit about what you do here, a little bit about Kelmscott Manor, and obviously about the man himself.
Yeah, well, I'm Gavin, I'm the property manager. I've been here since October 2015, so just for a couple of years. And the house was rented by William Morris, who was known as the father of the arts and crafts movement, and was inspired by this place so much that he fell in love with it the moment he saw it. He called it heaven on earth. He felt that the house was growing up out of the ground, and therefore a lot of the inspirations and lots of the thoughts that he had later on in his life came from this place itself. And we're open now to the public on April through to October on Wednesdays and Saturdays. We get about 20,000 visitors to come here. It's a bit of a pilgrimage for people who love William Morris. And as I said, there's a lot of inspiration that William Morris got from this place, so we hope that other people will, when they come, will not only enjoy the place and seeing all the things, but get inspired as well. Morris died in 1896 and is buried in the church nearby, as is the rest of his family. His last survivor of his family was May Morris, and she brought a lot of his objects to the manor, and therefore they remain here, and so everyone can see things that William Morris made and was inspired by through that.
Brilliant, lovely. Well, we'll leave descriptions below about William Morris, about Kelmscott Manor, and the link to the Facebook page where Gavin and his team are more than happy to tell you more about when you can come and visit this place. And I thoroughly recommend it. So, Gavin, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tony. It's lovely to see you.
And you. So, thank you to Gavin and his team for showing us all around Kelmscott Manor. We really did enjoy our day. As I said, there's more details that can be seen in the description. That's it for this episode. I do hope you've enjoyed it. In the next episode, we continue down the Thames, where we will end up somewhere around about Godstow. And here's just little excerpts of just some of the rare houses that we saw on our way down back to Oxford. But things get a bit more exciting after Oxford. Don't forget, please give us a thumbs up. And if you want to follow for the most up-to-date information, follow us on Facebook. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. And of course, please, if you want to keep up to date with us, do subscribe. Until next episode, thanks for watching.